uh, the wedding. I guess Rashna would remember, and Uncle, you may remember as well, as you may be, if I would imagine, that you may be intimidated by Sapan's Chicago group, because I know Sapan made all this special arrangements for the wedding. He made sure that all the Chicago group had the front. Uh, there was like 3 tables set up for the Chicago group, and everyone, even his family, even the immediate family, was behind us. Then when it was food time, they made sure that all the Chicago group went and got the food first, and everyone else, something like which. I guess we have been to the Dingar Uncle. We have to been so many weddings and so many receptions and so many anniversaries, so many birthdays, but none of them actually have that kind of respect and power for Dingar Uncle. So there was something amazing about Sapan Bhai, and very gracious of you, Shrikant Uncle, to actually play a Bhai. Right. So it worked out so great. But I could imagine, like, who is this Sapan? What is this Dinkar Bhai? And what is this Chicago group? And we come there, we're a bunch of guys, I would say rowdy guys, at that time. But, it's really big-heartedness of Sapan Bhai and Rachna and their families to give that kind of love and respect to Dinkar Uncle, not only Dinkar Uncle, but to all of their devotees. And that is the central theme of Sapan Bhai and Rachna Ben's life, actually. As an example, when Vashi Uncle was here, જ્યારે Vashi Uncle અહીંયા હતા ને હમણાં મહાપૂજા કરવા માટે, ત્યારે ઘનશ્યામભાઈ અને ઇન્દિરાબેને ત્યાં મહાપૂજા હતી. અને વશી અંકલે પેલું સ્નાન કરાવે ને આપણે, દે ડુ ધી જે ધામધામ મુક્ત છે એને સ્નાન કરાવે. અને પછી જે પાણી હતું, so he needed the dish for something else, so he emptied the water in a plate where all the flowers for the puja were there, so he emptied the water in that. એટલે I was trying to separate it, કે આ પાણી ફૂલ જે પૂજામાં વાપરવાના બાકી છે, these flowers are yet to be used in the puja, but the water has, Vashi Uncle has put the water in it. I was thinking about it, and then Vashi Uncle brought up prasang. The Vashi Uncle said a prasang that in God's time, they were bathing, Bhagwan is in Gadada, and it was summer time, and they're bathing him in open. And so while they're bathing him, there is a big puddle of water that gets collected, by his there, and all the kids are, splashing and dancing in the puddle of water by Bhagwan, And so Bhuktanand Swami said, aa chokraone, just go away from here, you're just creating some nuisance or mischief here, there is no need for you to be here, and stuff like that. And, but Bhagwan can, no, let them play, that this is such a prasadi water that Bhagwan says that even the avatars and the devtas would not, get the benefit of touch of the prasadi water. And then that triggered me that when we buy the flowers from the market, they sprinkle regular tap water, which we may not even drink. But if there is a Mahapuja water, we will actually very gladly drink it. We may preserve it. I know, if someone is sick, we will give them and give that, So in fact, I was thinking these flowers have become impure because of the water that has come, because it looked like he's disposing of water from a plate to clean the plate. It seemed like that. But I was thinking that the flowers have become impure. But in fact, they have become more pure or more holier, And Kakaji used to talk about 2 terms. He was saying, ek che distilled water, and ek che holy water. Pavitrata and shuddhata. Shuddh doesn't mean pavitra, and pavitra doesn't necessarily have to mean shuddh, or it can be shuddh also. But the implication is that je shuddha che, e pavitra nathi. Pavitra is something which is by the association and contact of God, And that is the definition of holiness. And so if we come to Sapan's Bhai and Rachna Ben's life, and what we learn from their life is this concept of what they perceive to be holy, what they perceive to be of significance, Of course, they perceive God. Of course, they perceive Gunatit saints. Of course, they perceive Dingar uncle to be holy and divine. But not only that, they actually serve, and I'm pretty certain that they have served at least 95% of us, more than that, in something very, very personal, and helped us out and the whole satsang out. And not only in our satsang, their services extend to even people and friends outside. And the spirit is that the devotees જે સત્સંગમાં આવે છે એ માથાના મુગટ છે. They are really something that he wants to please. He knows that the only way, one way to please God or please Dingar uncle is by pleasing these devotees. These are like, he would say, વચ્ચે શંકર અંકલનું આપણે તોર મૂવીનું ચાલતું હતું, તો આપણે તમારો સામાન મૂકવાનો આવતો હતો, and at that time he was also renovating their place, right, because there was a flood and everything. So Sapan goes, this is a lottery, man. This is Shankar uncle's જે સેવાની opportunity આવી છે, lottery છે. આપણને આવે કે we have to manage it, what it is, it's work. But he was saying that Shankar uncle is Kakaji's times devotee, So to do any seva for him is a lottery, That's the attitude Sapan Bhai had. And then I'm giving just Shankar uncle's example, but it's everyone, Meena Ben લઈ લો, કે કોઈ પણ ઇમિગ્રેશનનું કામ હોય, કે કોઈનું મેડિકલનું કામ હોય, Rachna Ben is attending. I remember in the old warehouse, we were joking that we should have hours for you guys. We should have an office and hours for you guys to consult and advise and help people, But they've served God in a very unique way by serving their devotees, by serving whoever is there in their association, and by really considering them to be divine, With normally we get a lot of chance to travel with Sapan Bhai specifically. And this time we were also with Rachna Ben when we went to Sahib's 75th birthday. And every time we travel with Sapan Bhai, something magical happens. Like, we will get a free upgrade, or we will get a bigger car or something like that. And he would say, man, this is the power of Swaminarayan sadhus. Because hame logo આખું ભરીએ છે, હમને કોઈ થતું નથી. It always happens with you. So you are the differential, it's not me, So, but his vision is that Swaminarayan sadhu are the greatest sadhu in the whole world. And એવું નહીં કે ખાલી ગુણાતીત સમાજના જેવું નહીં, any Swaminarayan sadhu, is the greatest sadhu in the world, અને એવો મહિમા છે. ખાલી સ્વામિનારાયણ નામનો સંબંધ, to have the reference of Swaminarayan is for him is of immense importance and significance. So their life teaches us a lot. Dingar uncle always explains that you may have 1/8 of you have 8 ton of philosophy. So you read all these books and you put that on one side of the scale, and you have 1/8 of acharan or conduct. Today it's about spirituality with activism, right? It has to be actionable. Whatever we learn, whatever we read, whatever we feel, it has to come into our practice, it has to come into our action. And that's what Sapan is. If his life is full of practice, And the reason is because that's how he sees Dingar uncle. Rohini auntie છે, એ કહે છે કે Dingar uncle is a man who walks the talk. Because a lot of people talk, I can come here and talk, I'm talking right now, right? But to walk the talk is totally different, And that's how he sees Dingar uncle, that Dingar uncle is someone who walks the talk. So if you see Sapan's life, it speaks volumes, He doesn't have to come here and give a lecture or, give a talk. But if you just look at his life, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes of his understanding. And it's actually, I'm saying Sapan because I spend more time with him. And it goes equally for you, Rachna Ben, as well, because I see that, Today, when Rachna Ben entered, Sapan came, everyone said, hey, Jai Swaminarayan, Sapan, Jai Swaminarayan, Sapan. It was like this low tone. And Rachna Ben, hey, Rachna Ben, Jai Swaminarayan. It's everyone's sudden excitement, So as a Sapan man, your approval rating is going down, you got to do something about it, But he says, yeah, but she's very popular even in his family, So that's how Rachna Ben's style is, that, she's such a person that everyone gets lit up, Even... she removes allergies. There you go. All kind of allergies. Even our kids, they were saying that, can we please have Rachna Ben sleep, with the girls? So they really like Rachna Ben and like to spend time with her as well. And of course, she goes out of her way. Today was her marriage anniversary. Right? Today is their marriage anniversary. But she has decided to, help, the kids out, and she's gonna host them in the downtown condo, and then take them to some cool downtown urban stuff. So she has made a whole plan for that. Yesterday night she was like, I'm really worried, I need to plan. I said, we'll just go wing it by the how it goes. But she wanted to make sure that it was a good plan, it was something they will enjoy, and but that much interest. Now normally when 10th anniversary hoy, there'll be big fanfare, they'll go out, and I don't know what people do on anniversaries, but I'm sure this is probably, they wouldn't think of coming to satsang and spending in such a nice divine environment. Very few people would, I would say very few people would think that way. And Sapan Bhai and Rachna Ben, they show what satsang holds in their hearts. They show to us what it means to them. And we're really Dingar uncle blessed by you to be in the company of such devotees. This time when we were in Wisconsin, we had a very good time. It was me, Pankaj uncle, right? Sapan Bhai and Rachna Ben, we had a good time. We all somehow our flight cancelled, and we all end up in the same flight, and it turned out really nicely. And then we went to Sapan and Rachna Ben. They have we got to learn a lot of things. Every place they go, they would like to try out is that right? Like a local coffee shop, is that right? It's not like a standard coffee shop. Koi specialty coffee hoy na ke? How do you describe that? Really like a look. I'm sorry. Local roasters and stuff like that. So she looked up something on, and we went to Brooklyn, right? Yeah, she looked up something on Brooklyn, and then we went to a New York bagel place, and so we had fun, and then we went to Denob's place. But the interaction that goes between them it's pretty amazing. Sapan and Rachnaben's interaction is Jason Bhai talks about that a lot as well. Sometimes that I don't remember the whole prasang where how there was a very tense situation, and then Rachnaben just diffuses it. Oh, poor me, what can I do? And stuff like that. And immediately Sapan is not comfortable. Is not uncomfortable anymore. So they have a great chemistry together. And they are more so than being husband and wife. They are very good friends of each other. And that is a quality again which Kakaji talks about a lot, is the Maitri Bhav. And वो Maitri Bhav they have, Dingar uncle हमेशा पहलेથી કહેતા હોય છે કે husband and wife વચ્ચે એવો ભગવદી જેવો ભાવ હોવો જોઈએ. Sapan says, my Bhagwati man, she's going to tell me this. He would Sapan ne kahi ખાવું હોય કે કશુંક એમાં Rachna Ben is very very she's comes from the Brahmin, so she knows all the જે ચરી પડવાની હોય, no eggs, no onions, no garlic. So she is very particular about checking all that stuff. Sapan ચાલી જાય શું but she trusts her. See, that's her filtration, right? but literally they treat each other as Bhagwadis in a real sense. The husband wife ma je not only as a husband wife as more of a social contract, there is a friendly contract, and there is a spiritual contract which is of that of a Bhagwadi, and which they have. So I guess what I was saying, I think we are fortunate to be in their company. And so yeah, coming back to Wisconsin. So what we were talking about is that during Gunatitanand Swami's time, we all know Bhagaji Maharaj, Jaga Swami, and Krishna Yada, these were the three devotees that attained the Brahm Sarup status, or widely recognized that way. But there were a lot of, Dingan always says, there were a lot of others which were not recognized publicly, but they had attained. And in that, Krishnada's family is very unique. Yogi Ji Maharaj would actually, Krishnada's wife Hata, Ladki Ba, she had a very close relationship with Jaga Swami. She would, to the extent that she would consider him her guru and everything, And he has a very loving and close, respectful relationship with Jaga Swami. And Yogi Ji Maharaj had put Ladki Ba's picture. This is also before all of the women's movement, before all of this happened. He used to have her murti in Gondal Dairy. Gondal Dairy ma પાછળની બાજુમાં લાડકી બાનો પિક્ચર હતો. અને if you look at in Gondal, ઘનશ્યામ મહારાજ ત્યાં આગળ વૈજનાથ ભાઈનો પિક્ચર છે. આપણે કૃષ્ણજી દાને લાડકી બાનો સન વૈજનાથ ભાઈનો. એટલે બાપા હેલ્ડ કૃષ્ણજદા, લાડકીબા અને વૈજનાથભાઈ all in the highest, in that of a high regard, you know. એટલે I was talking to Sapan કે એક કોઈ we have heard about men becoming Brahmrup, we have heard about women becoming Brahmrup, but there's a family, husband, wife and son, all attaining to that Brahmrup status, you know, in Gunadharan Swami's time. And there was Krishna Ada's family, you know. So I was saying, Sapan, Rachnaben, we want to have that kind of goal, you know. We want to have that kind of target for ourselves, that we're together, you know, we attain that Brahmrup status, and we have that prayer in your fit today also, Uncle. Sajan Swami Maharaj Ni Jai.